An explosion in Cleveland, Snoop Dogg, and the Watchman are all on this day. Hey, welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is October 20th. It is the 94th day of the year. We got 172 days left in 2020. It is the 42nd Tuesday. If this is your birthday, your zodiac sign is a Libra. That's the scales. In case you don't know. Today is World Statistics Day. World Statistics Day seeks to highlight the importance of reliable and timely data for informed decision-making by governments and individuals. As someone who pores over statistics daily for my other channel, World According to Briggs, I approve this holiday. All right, let's see what else October 20th has given us. 1803, the United States Senate ratifies the Louisiana Purchase. 1935, the Long March ends. This was a mammoth retreat undertaken by the armed forces of the Chinese Communist Party. It started a year prior, and it finally ended on October 20th. This march was to evade the pursuit of the Chinese National Party army. And it just wasn't one long march. This whole thing, it's a really neat historical thing, but it was a series of marches. Various communist armies in the south escaped to the north and the west. The route passed through some of the most difficult terrain in western China. This was before airplanes were a real option. 10, 15 years later, this would have been a different type of march. They would have been bombed out of existence, I imagine. But I read about this. It's a pretty interesting thing. If you want to read more, go to Wikipedia. There's several books about it. 1944, liquefied natural gas leaks from a storage tank in Cleveland and then explodes, leveling 30 blocks and killing 130 people. The East Ohio Gas Company built a full-scale commercial liquid natural gas plant, and it was the first of its kind in the world. An above-ground storage tank holding liquefied natural gas began to emit a vapor that poured from a seam on the side of the tank. Winds from the lake pushed the vapor into a mixed-use section of Cleveland, where it dropped into the sewers. As the gas mixture flowed and mixed with air and sewer gas, the mixture ignited. Manhole covers were launched skyward. One manhole cover was found several miles away. Yeah, several miles away. Not just, a couple blocks over. Several miles away. The estimated damage was between $7 to $15 million. Keep in mind, this was 1944. That's a big chunk of change. In all, over 600 people were left homeless and 70 homes, 2 factories, numerous cars, and miles of underground infrastructure were destroyed. 1947, the House Un-American Activities Committee begins its investigation into communist infiltration of the Hollywood film industry, resulting in a blacklist that prevents some from working in the industry for years. The blacklist involved the practice of denying employment to entertainment industry professionals believed to be or to have been communists or communist sympathizers. Not just actors, screenwriters, directors, musicians, anyone in the entertainment business was affected. American entertainment professionals were barred from work by the studios. There's a great movie called The Majestic with Jim Carrey in it back in this time. He was a screenwriter in Hollywood and he was put on this list. He was upset and he went for a drive like on Mulholland Drive or up coast of California and gets in a car accident, loses his memory. Well, he finds his way into this small town and they think he's this son of one of the locals that owns a theater called The Majestic. Anyway, it kind of sheds some light on this practice and what happened in history. It's a good movie. I suggest watching it. It was released in 2001 and it's got like Hal Holbrook, Martin Landau, David Ogden Stiers, obviously Jim Carrey, and a whole bunch of other people. Great movie. 1951, the Johnny Bright incident. The Johnny Bright incident occurred during a football game between the Drake Bulldogs, which are from Des Moines, Iowa, and at the time known as Oklahoma A&M Aggies. They're now Oklahoma State University. This was the first time that an African-American athlete with a national profile and the star of the team was on a national stage, so to speak. As you can imagine, the 1951 racists of Oklahoma didn't take kindly to this. The school newspaper had that he was a marked man, there was articles about it, so they knew this was coming. But the Johnny Bright incident was a violent on-field assault against an African-American player, Johnny Bright, by a white opposing player during the game. During the first 7 minutes of the game, Bright was knocked unconscious 3 times by blows from Oklahoma A&M defensive tackle Wilbanks Smith. While Smith's final elbow broke Bright's jaw, he was still able to complete a 61-yard touchdown pass to Drake's halfback, Jim Pinkleton, a few plays later. Soon afterwards, the injuries forced him out of the game. Now, Oklahoma A&M said the incident didn't happen happen. It wasn't like that, but they had cameramen there and they took pictures and it didn't look good. Johnny Bright went on to have a pretty good career in the Canadian Football League. He played for the Calgary Stampede and is considered to be one of the top 50 players to ever play in the Canadian Football League, CFL. He was inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame on November 26, 1970. After football, he went on to become a teacher. He had his Bachelor of Science degree from Drake University, and he was a teacher, coach, and school administrator. He died of a heart attack in December of 1983. 1973, the Saturday Night Massacre happens. United States President Richard Nixon fires U.S. Attorney General Elliot Richardson and the Deputy Attorney General after they refused to fire Special Prosecutor Archibald Cox, who was finally fired by Robert Bork. When Cox issued a subpoena to Nixon asking for copies of taped conversations recorded in the Oval Office, the president refused to comply. Nixon ordered a compromise, which Cox refused, resulting in him being illegally fired. 1976, the ferry George Prince is struck by a ship while crossing the Mississippi River. 78 passengers and crew die. 1981, 2 police officers and an armored car guard are killed during an armed robbery carried out by members of the Black Liberation Army and the Weather Underground. The thieves stole $1.6 million in cash from a Brinks armored car. They killed a Brinks guard, Peter Page, and seriously wounded Brinks guard Joseph Trombino. Trombino survives his injuries and continued to work for the Brinks Company for another 20 years. He was almost killed in 1993 in the World Trade Center bombing, which was ugly in itself, but he was eventually killed on September 11, 2001 at the World Trade Center while making a delivery. 2019, HBO releases The Watchman. It was a great movie. I really liked it. And the Watchman series, I just started watching it. It's pretty good. Born on October 20th, 1971, Snoop Dogg is born. American rapper, producer, and actor. His fame dates back to 1992 when he hooked up with Dr. Dre for a song called Deep Cover. And then he was on Dr. Dre's debut solo album called The Chronic. He's been famous ever since. Interesting dude. Even if you don't like rap music, he's pretty interesting. Died on October 20th, 2006, Jane Wyatt, American actress. She starred in a number of Hollywood films, such as Frank Capra's Lost Horizon, but is likely best known for her role as the housewife and mother, Margaret Anderson, on Father Knows Best. She died at the age of 96 due to natural causes. 2012, we lost John McConnell, American activist. He created Earth Day. Yeah, Earth Day. He died at the age of 97 due to natural causes. All right, that's today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Tell me what you think about these videos. I'd love to hear about it. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.